Hi, I'm Marty Roth, Superintendent at the Romulus Central School District, where our motto is Children First, Learning Always. Although we're the smallest district in the Finger Lakes, we take tremendous pride in our programs and instruction designed to prepare students for their futures anywhere they decide to go. At Romulus, this is part of what we call the Big Idea. Just about 6 months ago, our school started work on a project to develop personalized learning for students. We believe personalized learning will tailor the learning for every student, making them think critically and empower them for their future. You're about to see some of our successes in this endeavor. Enjoy hearing about personalized learning at Romulus from members of our school community.
We talk every day about active learning. So when we're doing, and we don't necessarily use the term personalized learning all the time, but we use a term called active learning. And when we're active learning, what does that look like for them? That means that they are engaged in what they're doing. They're taking ownership for what they're doing. So when they're working through their math lessons, for example, they have to show their level of understanding through a 1 to 4 scale. They have to do their check-ins with me during small group time. So for them, it just means working at their own pace based on their level of understanding and comfort with a new skill. Taking control of their own learning has been crucial for them to show success. And then they have to prove their success through that. So I think that's been really helpful for them.
And we've been hearing for a number of years that businesses, colleges want students that can collaborate, that can think independently, that can problem solve, that can think outside the box. And I really truly believe that personalized learning is one avenue to get students to do that so that they're better prepared for the future. I think this is another example of where our smallness and our unique characteristics allow us to push this new style of learning. It basically takes the teacher out of the role of the disseminator of information and puts the onus on the students, and the teacher acts more as a facilitator of that information, giving students the power to think for themselves. And it'll make them better thinkers as opposed to just memorizers or compliance learners.
I would describe it as you are not going to be sitting in your desk watching me teach. You're going to be moving around the room, trying different things. You might be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to go with it and take where you're at and try to move you along from there. So I've changed it up and we've started doing stations, and the kids are way more engaged now. They really like the digital station. They get to go learn more content about what we're learning about. This year looks different for sure. It's a lot more planning on my part, but I see that the kids are gonna probably make more progress in the end because I'm really sitting down with them and getting to know them and their needs better.
Basically, a way that you teach to get student engagement and to make learning something that they enjoy, truly. Everyone has a different way to learn. Everyone has a different way to teach. We all do things differently. So I guess personalized learning is really making it personal to that student, authentic to that student.
And I view personalized learning as a way to connect with all the different students I have in my classroom. It gives me different methods to teach my students, different ways to reach them, and as Joe mentioned, it's a great way to engage students in the learning that they're doing.
In that aspect, we like to challenge ourselves to combine our classes as much as possible, social studies and English. So we try to have curriculum that reaches out to both of those different content areas. I think it's been beneficial. I think the student engagement is definitely higher than last year when we weren't trying these types of things, and it gives us a different way to teach as well.
I think one of the benefits for team teaching and being that our location, our rooms being close together, it allows us to do a lot of flexible grouping, which I think is important for personalized learning, is being able to pull kids to target instruction to their needs. So it's when you have access to the entire grade level, you can do groups in a different way. So when Joe and I combine classes, we can say, okay, we want these 5 kids together because this is the need that they have. And we can organize our stations in a way or activities in a way so there's a progression that makes sense for each student. So some can jump right in, some need some pre-teaching. So by having access to all of the students at one time, we're allowed to do that.
I was a student who really could have used something like this. So sitting and listening to a teacher talk for 45 minutes, I was out after about 2 minutes and really didn't know what was going on in the classroom. Not that I wasn't interested, it just was the way it was presented to me. It wasn't engaging me at all. So it's really, for me, being a teacher and a principal, realizing that students need different ways to learn, let's bring them those different ways so everybody can be successful. Because some kids just can't be successful in the classroom depending on the way that we present material to them. So it's very, very important to me because here in Romulus, every child has the ability to learn, and then we give them that chance.
And some days there were like posters on the board, some days there's papers here you have to do on your own. Like she would just give us directions, let us do it ourselves at our own speeds. Other days we did group things, like she just made us do different activities a lot of different ways. Well, like I know one of my friends, she likes to like learn, she can really easily learn by reading. I can't. Like I can, but I have to like sit there and really focus. So when I can do things hands-on, it's a lot easier for me. If I had the opportunity to tell a teacher that, like I would definitely encourage them to do so because it's helped me.
So I'm like a very visual person and I like hands-on things. I think the more like us doing projects or like in a group, even just like talking to each other about it helps you like learn so much more than if you're just taking notes and writing stuff down, because you feel like you actually remember like doing it. I think is really helpful.
I know a few kids in my science class, they need more one-on-one time with a teacher, and some kids don't, like they understand it. Like I understand it a little bit better than some of the other kids in my class, and when she does stuff like that, she partners us with people she knows that we can work with. Like she might partner me with a kid who needs a little bit more help, or she might put me in a bigger group with kids who just pick up on the subject, so she can work with the group who needs more help. We do a lot of work on our Chromebook in there, which I think is cool because I like technology. And I like the fact that our English teacher, Miss Bartlett, is integrating her work with the internet. To me, it's really cool.
They'll tell us what generally we're doing, and then if we need help along the way, we can ask, and it's more one-on-one than most of the other teachers, where it's like, get down notes, and if you can't get them down, well then you're gonna have to ask somebody else. I feel like everyone feels that their education is important, and they feel that even more so when the teachers help them out personally and say, yeah, I understand that you don't understand this, and I can help you with that.
The teachers, they can make their own assignments for the kids based on what their learning style is or what they know about them.
In English, we did a rotation with 3 different groups, and a couple of them were hands-on, so you had to work with your group members on your Chromebook, and then one of them was independent, and you had to write short little stories. It gives us time to, instead of sitting and staring at a teacher the whole 42 minutes for a class, we get to interact with different groups.
Yeah, you can talk with your friends, but you can work with them, and it's just better than watching a teacher read off a board for a whole 42 minutes.
Well, I think this is a really new and different thing, and I don't think a lot of other schools have been doing this kind of thing. And even just how our classrooms are set up sometimes, lots of times they're in a circle where I feel like we're all involved. We're not a typical classroom situation. So I think it just overall is really, really helpful and cool. And it's different. I don't think a lot of other schools are doing the same kind of things that we are.